train ourselves to get the communication skills in the perfect way we want to do it. So just give me yeah, okay. So in this whole session we are going to be a master in communication skills. And now everyone will think, man, how in one session, how in just one go we are going to be master for communication skills. So let me tell you guys, communication skills we have learned from our childhood. We are responding to whatever the instructions given by our parents, given by teachers, given by society. We are following them. We are sharing our knowledge to them from day one. But the thing is that nobody has mastered it. Everyone is on just survival mode. So if you want to be a master in communication skills, everyone think like I should invest thousands of in books, and I need to read many English books, particularly for podcast I need to watch, then I need to really focus on my vocabulary and stuff, like which doesn't matter even if you are actually communicating with the people. Trust me guys, communication skills is all about a strong mentality to learn something from the world and to implement it in our real life. To be honest, if you see me, I'm just a student as of you guys. I'm also learning a lot in my life. But the thing is that I have played with communication skills as a life lesson. So I have quoted this from my own, that it's not as that hard as we feel. It's just a matter of mentality. That's it. We used to see that if we want something, if we want to speak clearly into the public, we need to focus on the content, focus on the body language, focus on our tune, and blah blah blah. There are many stuffs we are thinking on, and at the same time of implementation we are not doing a single instructed thing that we should do it. So why we are lagging with them? It's just a mentality that communication skills we can't learn from any kind of process or any kind of guidelines that usually society gives us. Is the thing of your own choice. You can learn by your own methods. You can prefer any content to improve your communication. See why communication plays a vital role when it comes to presenting yourself in front of college. Communication skills matters a lot. When you are presenting your project to the final year, communication skills plays another role in your expressing the ideas to the project team. When it comes to your recruitment and interview, communication is the key of success in the interviews or otherwise. Even though having a good academic record, having a good project, having a good knowledge of everything, nothing is going to work for you if you are not able to communicate, if you are not able to express that knowledge to the person who is sitting in front of you, waiting for you to express the best of you that you can. So communication matters from job perspective also, and even after getting job, it's not stopping there. Actually the real life of communication starts from that side, when you are actually going to communicate with the corporate team, with your HR, with your seniors. At that time you will be dealing with a lot of things that you are not even think of when you are applying for interview. So communication is the one key skill that is never going to, you are not going to ignore that at any stage of your life. Every stage communication is going to be there, but it's not hard that much. We can learn it in very simple steps. People usually burden themselves, keep a lot of pressure when it comes to learn those things, but it is very simple. And in today's session I'm not going to give you any technical perspective to you how you can improve the communication skills and how you can be a good public speaker or how you can present yourself best. What I am going to share you my personal experience, what the things I have changed in my life to get this communication in my hands and just to express the best personality that I can ever express. So we are going into that step by step. Coming first, now I saw many of you have laughed at this picture, but this picture is very very important in our life. I have quoted there, be shameful guys. Many of the times whenever we are able to express, when we know that our answer, our thoughts are very perfect to the situation, we are still not able to express them. We control ourselves, we restrict ourselves, so that we couldn't get the embarrassment if our expression is getting wrong at somewhere. If we are struggling with our communication skills and we are not able to express our knowledge perfectly, people are going to judge you by that. Oh my god, people will see me, people will laugh at me, they will make judgments according to me. Guy, this is not a perfect guy to express, he is not able to say a single word. So we used to restrict ourselves, we used to make a boundaries around ourselves, and we restrict our own talent, and that harms a lot in the future. So guys, to be honest, be a shameful. Why I have given the picture of kid into this slide is that if you see a child who is just a 1 year or 2 year, we have seen that the child is not aware of the own world, societies and policies. He go with his own mind, he does the things that he wants to do, he don't care for people's judgment anytime. What he cares about is his own growth. He is learning from the mistakes that he is doing, but he is not even caring for the judgment of the society. He is just playing his own game, and that's what we need to do. If we really want to improve our communication skills, we need to keep the inner child alive from ourselves. It's a very important thing that we shouldn't care for the embarrassment if we get wrong at any place, because see, everyone does mistake, everyone, and you are going to do a lot of mistakes when it comes to the communication skills. Sometimes you will be lagging with the grammatical skills, you will lag with some vocabulary words, you might not have those words to express ourselves. No issues with that, everyone has made this mistake, everyone is not inborn public speaker, guys. It's a matter of practicing and matter of growth in terms of a time speed if you are practicing a lot. So the more mistakes you will do, the more you will learn from those mistakes. So if you are first of the time, if you don't have the correct word to express the thought, you will actually go into the website or google it, whatever the words we need to express our day-to-day stuff. Then you will go for the other mistakes that will be related to grammar, then you will learn for the grammatical skills, then you will learn for tenses, speech, and voice, whatever it is. English is a very vast world if you want to explore it. But the thing is that the how you will do the mistakes, you will learn a fact. Then you will do another mistake, then you will learn another fact. So it's totally about learning and keep doing mistake, but only thing is matter that don't repeat a mistake. So my suggestion to all, the first is be shameful, don't fear of doing any mistake, take the embarrassment in a fun way, like a child, like a stand-up comedian person. I used to give an example of stand-up comedian people to all my students, that they don't care what people will judge them according to their statements. They come, they deliver, and they take the movement in a very positive way. Even though they are getting some embarrassment, they are getting some roastings from their fellows and their colleagues, still they are taking in a very fun way and positive way. And that's what we need to learn from them, that if you are doing mistakes, it's totally fine, no issues with that. And if you are actually practicing it with doing mistakes, you are learning a lot. Why we used to give the importance to experienced candidate rather than a fresher? Because experienced candidate has done some mistakes, has learned a lot. So don't be a fresher in terms of communication skills, do mistake, learn a lot, and a experienced candidate in terms of learning of communication skills. So see, mistakes even we have done. We are not from, all of us are not from convent schools, we are from a regional medium schools, like I am from a Marathi medium school. But the thing is that I was having an interest in English, and maybe you will also have some interest in your own regional. Communication is not restricted to any of the language barrier. Communication skills is totally a new skill, a unique thing. It's about sharing the information to the people, right? So we need to be shameful at some point and the starting of our career. So that's what the first suggestion that I would love to give to all guys. Next, we are going for another stuff. Then be confident. Most of the students used to come to me and they would ask me these questions, sir, how to develop this confidence? We want to be a confident speaker. We want that confidence in communicating himself. Whenever these questions came into the picture, I used to give a very simple answer. See, if I tell you that you need to prove that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, hopefully everyone will able to prove it in a very correct manner in many of the ways it can be. There are a lot of things that you can use when it comes to proving your answer is right, but the thing is that if I tell you to prove that 1 plus 1 is 11, at that time you will think on my, oh my god, this is answer is very incorrect. I'm not going to prove it at all. Even though I give any kind of judgment, the answer is still wrong. So at that time you won't be that much confident when it comes to express a wrong thing. So that's what I need to tell you guys. If you really want to be confident in communication skills, focus on the content, focus on your knowledge, increase your knowledge in the outside world, in the current scenarios. Many of the cases we have seen that guys don't used to engage themselves into a communication, into a discussion, because they don't have any idea related to the topic the other guys are talking about. So the thing is that if you really want to be confident in every discussion, the success factor, the key factor into that is only by acquiring the knowledge. See, current world affairs, we used to have a lot of discussion, whatever the politics is going on in our state, in our India, in anywhere in our country or ever in the world. So people used to get this discussion very often, and we used to get engaged into that if we really know about those facts. See, if a guy don't love cricket and every other his friends are discussing about the World Cups and Asia Cup, T20, whatever it is, that guy will restrict himself. He will not take the participation into that stuff, and that's what he will hit into that. Because see, the major factor will be that he don't have any idea of those things, and he will be like, oh my god, this is a totally conversation which is none of my business. I'm not aware of anything into the cricket. I used to play a gully cricket itself, and that's it. I have never explored a world of it. So how can I be confident in that stuff? See guys, whenever itself, I have already mentioned a second point over there. Don't pretend that you know everything. Most of the time students, even after not knowing anything, they used to like, okay, yes sir, yes sir. Don't be like that guy. Even if you don't understand anything, you can simply ask a question, you can simply ask the queries that you really want to ask them. It's totally appreciable that you are asking queries, you are clearing your doubts. You don't know anything, but you are still eager to learn it. And that's what keeps a normal guy separate from a guy who wants to actually learn those skills, learn those facts. So guys, my second tip to all of you, be confident with the stuff you know. See, confidence will reflect from your personality when you know the core thought, the core expression that you really are going to put forth into the public. If you want to prove a point and which you have a knowledge about that, you are very confident with that, and you know this point is very correct. I have every single answer of the question that can ask on this topic. You ultimately are going to confident into that kind of stuff. So totally focus on the content, focus on the current affairs which are going in the world. See, most of the topic like investments or cryptocurrency, the technology, the sports, the politics, all these topics plays a vital role in the society and in the community. And if you have a good knowledge about that, you will have some of the facts, you will have some of the knowledge, you will have some of the experiences of those points, and you actually can express them in a very confident way when you are going through it. So next time whenever you are going to be engaged into a conversation, if you know about that fact, speak clearly. Don't fear, your points are very correct because you have studied a lot of it. So don't worry for the judgments. And if you don't know anything about that topic, it's still totally fine, guys. You can ask them questions. Because see, a great communicating personality not only talks every time, but he used to listen to the people also. If you are a really want your communication skills to be get improved, you also should be a good listener. Every speaker has to learn these things, be a good listener. Because if you are just speaking, if you are just talking without any single pause, and if you are not hearing what public wants to hear from you, you are not going to stand in them. If you really want to increase the knowledge, the best way that you can is hearing, listening from them, observing them. Whatever the knowledge, whatever the aspects, whatever the points they are putting into a conversation, you can take a note of it. See, these kind of things are really simple. We used to ignore them, and then we are focusing on the things we haven't reached apart. Like most of the students come to me, sir, we want to develop our English communication skills, and they don't even know the basics of it. So my suggestion will be, if you really want to increase your confidence, focus on the content that you are expressing automatically. If you are confident in that, your confidence will get reflect from your speeches, from your sessions, from your talking. And if you don't know anything about it, it's totally fine. You can ask queries are there to help you in this situation, because at that time you are also getting some new knowledge, and the person who is sitting in front of you will feel a little helped in that. He will feel like, oh my god, this guy is also listening me, means I should also put some points for his help. And that's where we can engage him in a good conversation. See, these kind of skills, these kind of small things can help you to develop a personality, not only in a corporate world, but also in your relationship, with your parents, your loved ones, your friends. They all will see you as a great personality. So guys, my second point to all of you is, be confident and believe in yourself. And moving on to the next point, it's actually the last point, but I'm still going to explain a lot of things in this case. Guys, being consistent is very, very important. Most of the time, people used to start in a very energetic way, that from day one I'm going to join gym, from day one I'm going to develop a personality, from day one I'm going to read books and all that stuff, taking a pledge, taking an oath, from day one I'm going to do that. And they have this adrenaline rush going into that, and they used to overdo that task. If you haven't entered into gym, and if you want really to build a body, you do every single set, every single exercises into gym, and in the next day your situation will be like a punctured tire. You don't want to go to gym, you won't want exercise then, and you will skip it. You will skip one day, then you will skip 2 days, then you will skip 3 days, then you will skip a week, months and years, and you are again into your comfort zone. And the whole value for all of the struggles, all of the ways that, all of the efforts that you have put on, will be a big zero. So guys, being consistent is very, very important. And whatever skills, not only communication, whatever skills you want to learn in your life, it depends on a good, peaceful, slow start. Most of the time we used to go in a high pace and very speedy start, and then we used to reduce our efforts, and then we used to tired and exhausted because we haven't got the success. Guys, it's totally a very slow process. It's totally up to you how you are going to invest your 24 hours into those skills. It totally depends on you. And trust me, if you go on a very general way, not pushing yourselves over hard to achieve that success in a very less time, it's not going to work, guys. It's a very slow process. It's a key skills. Once you get that, you're not going to lose it. A person who start learning swimming and who swims well, he is not going to forget his swimming till the last end. A person who drives well is not going to forget how he used to drive, because these are the skills which take time, but after learning them it's not going to be anywhere from you. So trust me guys, being consistent is very important. Keep push yourself to communicate with the new people, start engaging with the new people. Once you are in the office, go interact with the people, ask them for their experience in the companies, ask them for their motivating points that will help you in your progress. See, communication is not just, as I mentioned, not just about talking, it's about listening also, because after listening you will heard a point that which may affect in your life in a very positive manner also. So if you really want to communicate well, if you really want to increase the communication skills, I will give you some of the really small facts about you. See, when I used to train students about English communication, I used to tell them, guys, there are three systems in the computer also. The one is input devices, second one is CPU, and third one is the output device. I used to say, whenever it comes to communication skills or any language that you want to learn, these three factors come again into the picture as the most three important facts. When it comes to input device, guys, if you really want to communicate, you first need to have some good clarity of thoughts. For that, you need to have a good storage of word. We used to call it as vocabulary. You should also have the facts in the world which are going around when it comes to GD, and that's why I'm going to give you little things that if you really want to input very much data from input in you should go for reading books, and not those big bulky books. You can start reading comics also, you can start reading small books also. It's totally fine to start with them, because see, many of the students used to get scared, used to scare sweaty when they used to see these kinds of books which are really bulky, and in first day they used to almost read 5 to 6 pages, and then the number of pages reduces day by day. We don't want to be that guy, so start slowly. It's totally fine, because we all know slow and steady wins the race, guys. Start with a very small book, start learning a small words. Even if the 10 CBSE or 9 CBSE English books or whatever the language you want to learn, you can prefer those English or any books for yourself. The thing is that what you needs to follow is a very slow, very comfortable process for you all, guys, because if you jerk yourself into that, you're not going to do anything with those skills. You are not going to implement that. So start with a small step. Start with reading books. Or if you don't want to read books, you're not really interested in reading books, there is a lot of content going on in the world, like on Ghana.com, on Spotify, on Amazon Prime. The podcast that you can learn from, you can learn very much from them. The podcasts are the best source of audio learning for you, for all of you guys. Even the Storytel apps also help in a lot in these kind of situation, where you can just plug in your headphone and listen whatever you want. Even the songs can help you a lot, even the podcast, even the interviews, even the storytelling apps can really help you a lot in these cases. Next, if now once the input data is already there, you have the clarity of thought, you have done with your vocabulary, you have learned the grammar, everything is there. Now it comes for the crucial part, processing of that knowledge. See guys, most of the students have this habit that they used to think in their regional language, then they used to transfer it into English, and then they will speak up. So it would take a lot of time, until that time a boy who is a girl or any person who is very good in that English will take over your lead and he will sweep you away. So what you need to do is, we have seen a lot of real life examples when we were child, when we were just take the birth on this earth. So the one thing that everyone on the same pace, we have learned the language from the interaction going around us. When it comes to Marathi, we used to see our parents talking in that language. Our parents used to come to us and say, "Hey baby, say papa, say mama, say amma, say abba." At that time, after learning and learning, after listening them thousands of times, then we used to speak papa, then we used to speak mama. So that's what we need to develop in this case also. We need to develop a surrounding, a neighbor of it. We need to create that environment where we can push ourselves into these kind of skills, into communicating with them. And for that we really need to think into that language that you want to talk about. See, most of the guys are very good in English, they don't know their regional language. Most of the guys are very good in regional language, but they don't know anything about English. So whatever the language you are going to learn, think into that language. Don't think into the language you already know. It's totally up to you how you are going to be. If you start thinking in English language, let's say an example, if you want to learn English, if you start thinking into that language, you will see a lot of challenges in the initial phase. You don't used to get the word in so quickly manner. You will struggle with the word, you will struggle with the grammar. But as how you will step up, as how you will progress, you will see that words are coming from your face, are really coming in a speedy way. You are talking very fluently into that language without even thinking. Words are coming and you are speaking without even thinking. Words are coming and you are able to speak them. This can happen if you start writing it for that stuff. See, we have listened a lot, we have read books a lot, we have watched a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of podcasts and a lot of commentaries and whatever stuff. But as long as you are able to write them in a proper way, that is the crucial part when your CPU is going to work. We have a lot of stuff from input device. Now it's come to the CPU part to process that. And for that I used to suggest people to write your thought. Write a personal diary. If you don't want to write any technical stuff, write a personal diary, guys. That will help you a lot into that situation. So writing is what you are going to face struggles in. That is, you will write a wrong sentence, you will write a wrong word, you will do a lot of mistakes in grammar. It's completely fine, guys. It's totally a process. It's going to be that way. After some days you will feel that you are constantly writing without even thinking in your regional language. You will start writing in English itself. Your words are coming in your mind. So this is totally about practice and pushing yourself harder in this situation. And when it comes to now, you are able to write it, you are able to think into that language. In this case, your output device is going to come into the picture. Now we are ready with the input. Now we are able to write also, we are able to think also. Now it's completely total part of output device, that is the speaking skills. Now you have to engage in communication, you have to get engaged in some discussions to improve your mistakes, to minimize your mistakes and improve your quality of speaking. And once you are getting a good habit of sharing your expression, after that you can work on the small tweaks like raising and decreasing your tone changing, or body language, or hand gestures, or a good eye contact. After speaking clearly, now you can work on those. People used to start from the first of taking care of their body language and their hand gestures and eye contact. Guys, if you are really focused on that, first you need to go with these steps like input device, the CPU, and then you can go for the output device. What I used to suggest to the students, that speak with your teachers, speak with the trainers, ask them to correct their mistakes. And what I suggest you to corporate freshies or corporate trainees to speak with their trainers, their mentors, the seniors, the head, so that they will get more knowledge from them. They will adapt with their process, and they used to improve their own way. So it's totally fine if you are speaking with seniors, because you are going to do a hell lot of mistakes in that. But it's completely fine, guys, as I've told you earlier. So if you really want to follow, do follow this. If you really want to see the improvement, follow these three structure that I have explained just now. Go for the input device, read, listen, watch, anything, any content that you love, follow that content and take the inputs from that. Take the words, take the grammar, take the clarity of thoughts, take the factors from it. Then it comes to the part of writing. At the writing, you are going, at the time of writing, you're going to do a hell lot of mistakes, but it's completely fine. Just focus on your writing, focus on your thinking. Are you able to think into the language that you want to speak, or you're still thinking in the language you are really comfortable with? Ask these questions to yourself when you are writing those stuff, and slowly improve that. Think on the language that you really want to speak, and you will see a improvement into that. And once you started thinking into that language, it's now correct time that you started speaking into that language, and that is going to help you a lot. These are the small steps that I used to explain to the students, and they have changed a lot in their real life. They can relate this stuff in their real life, and that's why these tips are really going to help you a lot with them. So these are the three pillars that I have given you earlier. That be shameful, keep the inner child alive in you, guys. Do a lot of mistake, and don't take embarrassment in the serious way. Take it as a very very subtle, very fun way. Someone is just roasting you, just okay, it's totally okay, guys. Next stuff, after getting all the fears away from you, be confident, increase your knowledge of outer world, increase your own knowledge, explore the world. Recent updates, current affairs is a very very important when it comes to be confident in the communication. As long as you have the knowledge of that topic, you are going to be confident while expressing it. And if you don't have any knowledge about it, hell, there are a lot of questions to ask to the person who is expressing that. So even way you are going to engage yourself into a conversation, and you are going to see a lot of improvements in yourself. So trust me, the second point is be confident and be learners, guys. That is what I need to say. Be a good learner by being a good listener also. And next, for the final stuff, as I have explained, be consistent, explore a new way of learning. There is not only single way of just reading books and listenings, and you can alternate all those with your own choice and with your own comfort. The only thing matters is getting information, processing it, and delivering to the people you want to, and you will be a good personality that you have dreamed of. Now, most of you have the questions like how this guy is able to do that. See, I have started my journey of speaking from 2018 when I was in second year of engineering. And at that time, after learning a lot, after doing many mistakes, after having so much embarrassment, I now have trained a lot of students now. As Pradeep sir has already mentioned about myself, even I would love to add more points into that. I have a YouTube channel also, which has a 520 subscribers around that. I don't know, even though. So I have a huge family of Instagram with 100 members. So thing is that if I really want to be a master in communication skills, the only thing is never stopping and just keep growing. There is no end of communication skills. You can be as good as you can. There is endless journey for this communication skills. So don't stop at any position. Don't feel that you have reached a position that you are dreamed of. There is a lot of things going on continuously, and the world is getting updated with the facts, with the knowledge, and you should also update in the same field, in the same pace. So push yourself harder, learn a lot things from the world is totally teaching you a lot of things, guys. Just you need to do is embrace those stuff. And that's the end from my side. If you really want to have any questions, you can ask me.
So, thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Sanket Khule. To say again a few words about him. He's a trainer and motivational speaker from Pune in Maharashtra. He has just spoken to us on communication skills, a very, very clear speech. Thank you so much, sir. He's from the Tata Consultancy
Welcome, sir.
Services with 6 years of experience uh, into resource planning and allocations. He likes reading and playing chess, and he has trained 3,000 plus students since 2018. And right now, you're on our disruptive education platform of GETI, the Global Education and Training Institute from Lucknow. And we have met with and interacted with more than 1,600 uh, educators from India and all over the world. And good evening, everybody, and see you again soon. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Sanket
so
Khule,
much. Thank you so much,
once
Pradeep
again.
sir, and thank you so much all of you who have